Hi, everyone. Welcome back to The Other Side of Music. Tonight, we are interviewing DJ Chevy. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for coming on here.
Not a problem.
Well, so, um, I know I saw your video. For those of you that didn't see it, there was a video a few nights ago where he went live and told it, said what people needed to hear. So I have him on so I can ask questions because I know he will not mince words. So my first question to you is, um, tell me how you feel about pay to play.
Uh, okay. So there's degrees to it. The very first thing that I say, I'll always say that anyone who gets on a stage and is entertaining people and anyone in that room is making money, the artist deserves to be paid
Yes.
or at least given the opportunity to make money as well.
Okay. I
Period.
agree.
Now, do I think that there are opportunities that come up that are, have a fee that's worth an artist doing? Yes. If you have an opportunity to get on stage with a quote unquote major artist, industry artist that fits the type of music that you do,
Hmm.
you have that opportunity. Someone tells you it's X amount of dollars. The first thing you have to do, in my opinion, as an artist, vet to see if the opportunity is real, and then part two, can I make my money back? Is there a way of me selling tickets? Is there a way of to recoup? If there's not, then you have to. The performance part of it is the last part of it. You need to be able to sell merch. You need to be able to collect data. You need to be able to interact with that major artist management.
Hmm.
You need to be able to interact with the actual show promoter. Like it has to be worth what you're spending.
Right.
You just getting on stage playing rapper is not worth it. You being in a situation that can change your life is. And the only way to do that is to capitalize on the opportunity in totality and not just to be up there rapping.
Right. Right.
So I'm not against artists paying for opportunities to advance themselves, whether that's on stage or whether that's in any way, shape, or form. But in the same breath, just for the sake of entertainment, you're just entertainment per se, yeah, you should be compensated
Okay.
or at least given the opportunity to make money.
Correct. I agree with you. So, for those of you, I just jumped right into this interview. Please tell us about yourself. Because
Uh,
people watch this outside of Pittsburgh too,
it,
so
this is
yeah.
probably one of the most difficult questions I ask because as much as I do, I try to stay in the background.
Okay.
Just by nature, I'm a person who's completely okay with being in the shadows. The
Hmm.
only time I erupt is when people try to act like I'm not there. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I'm okay playing the background, but please don't act like I've been doing this too long. I'm 40 years in, 42 actually.
Okay.
And, I live and breathe this thing. My priorities in life are my children, God, my children, music, everything falls after that.
Okay. All right. Well, you answered my next question, how long you have been doing this.
Yeah. It'll be, I think this first time I was paid to DJ, it was it was a high school graduation party. That was, I want to say we got out of school in June, early June. So I would say mid June. And that was what, 84, 83, 84 was the first time I was ever paid to DJ.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been doing this over 40 something years.
And why DJing? Why didn't you choose something else?
Um, so I'm a hip hop kid. I did, the break dancing. I did the graffiti. I was never really into rapping, so I've helped people, do songs or give concepts. But the DJing thing came from me wanting to hang out with my cousin. My cousin is probably about 6 years older than me, 4 to 6 years older than me. And, at the time I was 13 or 14, so he had to be 17, 18. Him
Okay.
and a group of his friends were going to a party. And, typical story, I lagged 2 blocks behind and I'm following them to this party. I just wanted to go. Like, my cousin was one of the coolest people, still is to me. And I just wanted to go. So we go to this little hall, and they're all hanging out and I'm just kind of in the wind, and the DJ pulls up, and the DJ starts unloading his equipment,
Hmm.
and I just jump in and help him. You know what I mean? I literally just, and still to this day, you want to get in the DJ's favor, help him unload, but then stick around and help him reload. We got a relationship for life. But so basically what happened was I helped him load in his equipment, and I sat there and, oh, hand me this and hand me that. Cool. I don't know what I'm doing, but I just want to be in the building.
Hmm.
And, party starts and I'm in the building. I just fall back to the shadows, and it was the coolest thing. Like I said, I'm 13, 14, and they were still young. They were like 18, 19, but like this is a full, 83, 84 basement party. So your energy is live, everything's great, and I'm just kind of, sitting and just observing the whole atmosphere. And I'm kind of watching what he's doing and that whole thing. And like moth to a flame, he played a song. I don't remember exactly what song it was, and he cut the volume, and everybody kept singing the song. I was so upset. I'm like, I want that power. I want to be able to create an energy in a room, and even with silence, people still ride with you. I was addicted from that moment on.
Nice.
And that was what, like I said, 13 years old, 13, 14 years old.
So, have you played? Like, what was one of your favorite places you've played?
My bedroom.
Oh, okay.
My bedroom. Because it's where you learn everything. It's where you make all your mistakes. It's where you struggle. It's where you discover who you are as a maestro, as someone who's creating an environment. So no matter what I've ever done, I've been on stages, big places, I've been in, basements, but at the end of the day, what makes me happy is turning that music on in that bedroom, and creating the energy first for myself so that I can then, do it efficiently in front of people.
Okay. Now, where is a place that you would love to play that you haven't gone yet?
Red Rock in
Red Rock.
Colorado.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I want to see a show there first, but then I want to be on that stage.
Okay. Well, I'll keep my eyes peeled so I see that headline one day.
Yeah, that is a goal.
So, now I know you've run into it. Okay, so I'll just get right to the question. What do you think is happening right now? And I only say Pittsburgh because that's kind of where we are, but I'm sure it's happening other places. But what do you think is happening right now with people not keeping commitments, people not wanting to pay? Like, is it like a it's almost like an epidemic. I don't know, but I have my own theories of what's happening. But
Um, I There's so much of this. I mean, what you just asked was so multifaceted. It's not even funny. But the reality of it is, I boil it down to one thing, and that's professionalism. True professionalism. Understanding what it means to be a professional, understanding what the processes are to become one, as well as what it means to execute in a professional manner. And 80% of what you're seeing is people's lack of that.
Yes.
Period. 90% is just no goddamn home training. I'm gonna just keep it a thousand. I'm gonna just keep it a thousand. Like, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. You know what I mean? You can have both parents at home and still not have no home training. This isn't a single parent home. This is like just there's just a lot in it today. Truly today, just the level of delusion that people allow themselves to live in is staggering. Like I literally don't understand. Like, bro, you went to Walmart and bought a basketball. That doesn't mean you should be the starting point guard for the Lakers. You just literally bought a basketball. Like, it's just it, and that's what it is. And it's like the difference between arrogance and confidence is the work.
Mhm.
You understand what I mean?
Oh, yes,
Confident,
I do.
confident people put in a lot of work, and they're confident in what they're capable of doing. Arrogant people just talk about it and do a little bit of work and hope nobody checks them on it.
Yeah. It's almost like, what was that movie, Field of Dreams?
Oh
You
yeah,
build it, they will come, but that
but the
doesn't
only problem
happen.
is even if you follow that, if you build it, not if you talk about building it, if
Okay.
you build it, people will come. You may
Mhm.
not have a lot, but the people that do come will appreciate what you built.
Yes.
But you can't talk about building the field and then be mad when the stands ain't full.
Yeah.
Like it just it's just there's just a huge disconnect between what it's going to take and what you think it's going to take.
Mhm.
And that's it.
I fully agree with that. Yeah, I've run into some stuff, cross paths with some people, and
it
I just, and I don't get mad about it. They get in an uproar, and I'm like, look, I'm good. It's like, we don't have to work together again. I'm cool, totally cool with that.
it's,
And they're just in an uproar, and then
the emotion.
yakking.
Here's another thing that's lacking: the emotional intelligence of people is very bad. Like we don't have to agree to work together.
Mhm.
We don't have to agree to get along. Professionally, I'll do what I need to do. And I don't have to like you. I'm just
Right.
going to do what I'm supposed to do on my end. And if you do what you're supposed to do on your end, then we have a positive outcome. You go your way, I go mine. The problem is everybody wants to get along. And the only way it works is if we get along. No, the only way it works is if we do what we said we're going to do.
Right. Right.
That's the difference. Like, I don't have to like you to work with you.
Mhm.
But we're gonna sit down, agree on, okay, you're gonna rent the venue out, you're gonna hire the DJ. Cool. I'll go get the artist, I'll pay the artist, I'll promote.
Mhm.
Now, if I get to the building and you didn't rent it, we got a problem. Or if you rented the building and there's no DJ and no sound, like we have a problem. The same way if you do all that and I didn't promote or have no artist. So
Mhm.
whether we like each other or not doesn't matter. We did not fulfill our end of the agreement. And when that happens, people interject feelings.
Mhm.
Then about how you feel, bro, you didn't do the job.
Yes.
You didn't do what you said you were going to do. So it's not about how I feel, it's about the fact that you didn't do it. But they try to spin it and introduce all of these other things because the reality is they fell short. It's not
Yeah.
what you said it was.
Yep.
And I have a right to be upset about that because we agreed on what it was supposed to be.
Yes. You do. Anybody does. If Yeah, everyone doesn't need to be friends.
And
Um.
it's not a negative thing. It's just you don't go into it, oh, we're friends. No, we go into it is we're gonna make something happen. We're gonna uphold our end. Now, if we can be cordial, if we can be cool while doing it, that's great.
Mhm.
But that's not how business works. When you call an ambulance and you're hurt, you don't care whether you like the paramedic or not. Stop the bleeding. I want to live. Do your job. When you call the plumber because your toilet's backed up, you don't like, oh well, he's not kind of somebody I would like, so I'll call him. No. Can you fix the toilet? You can fix the toilet, please go fix the toilet. And that's it.
Right.
It's just with this, for some reason, in this field specifically, people have a really, really bad problem with thinking that they have to like or dislike or get along with somebody for business sake. No, just do the business.
Yep. Oh yeah. No, I know. Um, my name is good in some circles and not good in others, and that's fine. Just for ridiculous reasons. Uh,
Here's the thing with that, that's always going to be the reality of is this. When people don't like me, I'm a very unliked person in the city. Just tell the whole truth. Just tell the whole truth.
yeah.
Don't give them half of it, because if you give the whole truth, then people will understand the complete story. Don't spin it because you want to make yourself look good.
Right. Yeah. No. No. I know. Speaking of city, have you always lived here?
Oh, that is a very great question. Yes, born and raised here. I've lived in DC. I was in the
Okay.
military. I lived in Germany.
Oh,
Um, I lived in Virginia for a while. Um, but I've always been here. This has always been home.
okay. All right. Um, my so I don't know how did when I moved to DC, I was obviously it's not like Pittsburgh,
No.
and I was thrown off when you could go in a certain direction, but then at like 5 p.m. you couldn't go that same way, or you couldn't make the same turns you could. You know, you know
Right,
what I'm
right.
talking about.
You know what throws most people in that, the beltway throws a lot of people.
Oh, the
People have to
Beltway.
get adjusted to the beltway.
Yes.
Um,
If
I
you
I
went
don't know
north,
why, but yeah,
yeah, if you went north to get somewhere, you were not coming home south. You were coming home like from east west
right,
to the
yeah,
to
exactly,
the left. It was like, oh my gosh. I
yeah,
remember when I moved down there, I was so lost in DC that I would sit and right where it would say no left turn, the big red,
yeah,
little
right.
arrow, I would literally see like a cop sitting across from me. I would purposely make an illegal U turn so they would pull me over so I could get help, so I could
So
get
we're
back home. And no one ever pulled me over. They just watched me. I'm like, any other time I could sneeze and get a ticket. But
right.
I mean,
Probably because of the out of state plate.
yeah.
Probably because of the out of state plate. Just like, yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, I was like, I kept doing it. I'm like, someone's gonna eventually pull me over and then help me get home, but no,
Right.
it didn't
No.
happen. I eventually
No.
made it home, but, jeez, yeah,
Yeah. When I lived in DC, I lived on 11th Street Northwest.
mm,
So I didn't do a lot of driving. You know what I mean? Like I was literally in the city.
yeah,
Walk basically. I could walk the Constitution. Like, you know what I mean? I did a lot of that. Now, when I lived in Northern Virginia, 40 minutes away, 42 minutes away, I would take the bus to, I forget what area, and then jump on the T and come in.
oh
And I
okay,
would do what I needed to do and then jump on it back. So I didn't do a lot of driving around. I did more driving around in the DC area after I moved back to Pittsburgh than I did the whole time I lived there.
yeah, it's
No.
pretty walkable. Um,
Yeah.
the other thing about that area of Virginia, all their ramps or rest areas are on the left.
Yes, they will.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes, that's different for a
that
lot,
was
you know
an
what I mean?
eye
Because in
opener
PA
too.
you don't get that. Ohio and in the that area, they have off ramps to the left.
Yeah,
Correct.
You got to get in the fast lane to get off at the rest area, and the rest
Hmm.
area ramps like 50 feet long. So you have to slam on your brakes so you
Right,
don't run into everything.
right. Yep, smell the DC area.
It was an eye opener. I lived out there for quite a while though. I did like it,
Yeah,
but so
interesting.
where I always like to ask, like, where can people find you?
Uh, I try not to be found. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, well
I
then
hate
we'll
social.
leave that alone.
I literally hate social media.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a phone if I didn't have kids. Like I just don't necessarily care for it. Easiest way to find me, honestly, is at an independent event. Like I get out here. If there's some music around, you'll probably see me.
Okay.
Um, and then, like I said, I'm a email and phone person. Like I'm like so. This whole social media thing has completely and totally damaged relationships. Has damaged true business because it's no longer about us connecting. It's about them collecting data and them controlling what we see, them advertising to us. It's not about us connecting. And you can't do business if you're not connected. You know, I personally do a lot of things and I offer a lot of things. I have a lot of opportunities and I'll put them out on social media. And then 3 days later, somebody will hit me like, "Oh, bro, you still doing that?" I'm like, "That was 3 days ago." Oh, I just seen it. Like, and it's just like after hearing that time and time again and really wanting to help people,
Hmm.
you realize like if you're not calling them, texting them direct, or if you're not sending them an email, they're not getting it.
Yeah, not in time. Yep.
No, and this is why our shows sometimes have the turnouts that you're unless you are paying for advertising,
Hmm.
they're not showing it.
Yeah. Or
They
they're showing
want you
it
to
much
pay
later.
them.
Yeah.
Right. They want you to pay them. So yeah, you got, 6,000 followers on your or what is it? 4,500 followers on your Facebook, but I promise you maybe 40 people seen it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, 100 will see it in 2 days, and then maybe 200 will see it in 5 days. But when you needed them to see it, and then if they haven't commented, if you haven't had any type of conversation, they're not seeing it at all.
Yeah. Yep. It's
So it's
very
like
true.
we rely on it so heavily and don't realize it's to our detriment. And it's
Oh,
just real it's really trying to get a lot of these younger artists, even older artists, to understand this. They think because they got all these followers and oh, I had 700 views on my live. Okay, and did
yep.
700 people show up for your show? No, they didn't. So that's where I'm saying, like, we have to do better in understanding what it's for. I think social media is great to meet people.
Hmm.
Past that, if we're going to do any type of business together, if we want to stay connected, it has to be email or direct texting or whatever the case may be, because everything past that is a waste of time unless you're going to set aside a budget to make sure you're constantly promoting your stuff.
No, I agree. I always, even this with the podcast, and I always talk to people. When I talk to people, I'm like, can you, if social media were to disappear now, right now, could
Hmm.
you survive? Not like you as a person, but your business or your music career or any of that. Could it survive?
Are you
And
asking me that question? Oh,
oh, I know yours could. I can
oh
tell.
yeah, because
Yeah.
because I come from an era of being in the street.
Hmm.
So I'll tell you something a lot of people don't know. I built my name in this city and outside this city in front of the Greyhound bus station. I
Oh.
still tell artists to do that.
Oh, really?
Think about it. You got two
Flyers.
things. You got people coming in from different states and leaving for different states. A lot of college kids, if they catch that bus.
Yep.
Two, most of them are on there for at least an hour and a half. So now you got a captive audience. What else they got to do?
Yeah.
They sitting on the bus anyway. Why wouldn't they check out your song? Why wouldn't they, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's a great hub to be able to interact with people not from the city,
Mhm.
interact with people from the city leaving. You know what I mean? Like, so you're from Cincinnati, you're catching the bus home. You see me, you scan my QR code, you listen to this new mixtape that I got, you think it's dope. You're going home. Guess what you're gonna do? Start telling people at home about what you just,
Yep.
it's how it spreads. So for a solid year, maybe, mixtapes, just meeting people, I stayed in front of the Greyhound bus station.
That's really cool.
It
That's really
made
cool.
sense to me. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And people were like, damn, how you, I put in the work. Then, you know what I mean? I also worked downtown for Sneaker Villa, which is now DCR. I was a DJ inside the store. I met people from all corners of the city. I met artists from all corners of the city because they wanted their music played in the store.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, like there's ways of staying in one place but spreading.
Yes.
And that's what I
Absolutely.
learned early. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that, yeah, if this social media thing's shut down, don't mean nothing to me. I'm gonna go get it, regardless.
Oh, so here's the question: what do you do to unwind?
Woo! What do I do to unwind?
Like just to relax? You don't have a
I heard that
show.
chuckle. What do I do to unwind? Oh wow. Um, I love what I do, so it's
Okay.
kind of hard to say like, oh, like I'm literally sitting here in front of my computer while we're doing this. You know what I mean? Like I it's just I love what I do. So
Okay.
if I have to unwind from that, uh I just kind of want to relax, kick back with my family, you know what I mean? Play with
Hmm.
my kids. I torment my I have a daughter who just turned 21. I love tormenting her. So, you know what I mean? Like it's just we have a great relationship. Um Unwind. That's a
Like,
great
do you
question.
have like a hobby, or do you read, or do you have a favorite TV show, or collect
Um
stickers? I don't know.
wow. Okay, so most DJs are collectors of something.
Hmm.
Just what it is. I have an absurd amount of tennis shoes. I have an absurd amount of baseball hats. I have an absurd amount of pops, like the little pop figurines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy that. Um, I'm not a huge drinker, but I like collecting alcohol. I know that sounds strange. Um, Old DJ equipment. I love that stuff.
Okay.
Vintage stereo equipment. Um, yeah, hobby. And I have to be honest, I would consider it a hobby. I like making beats. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
I do produce things. Um, yeah,
All right. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff.
that I can think of.
So, if you could DJ anybody's party, no matter what, money, time, dead, alive, what would be like the ultimate? Or whose party would be the ultimate? And it could be a big party, a small gathering, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Hmm. Uh, yeah, we're gonna go. Literally, we're just gonna go with some Fantasyland type thing.
Hmm.
I would love to have DJ'd Prince's birthday party at at Paisley Park.
That would be fun.
That would be dope. Just his guest list would be insane.
Oh yeah,
His
absolutely.
his guest list would be insane. And if a close second to that, I wish I would have grew up in the area and been able to DJ at Studio 54.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
The stories
Yeah.
would be unreal.
Insane. Insane.
Did you ever see? Do you know the show New Girl?
I do not.
Okay, your daughter probably does. So there's an episode on New Girl that Prince is on,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually talks. He actually, like he never really says much, but
Mm-hmm.
he's having a huge party at his place, and he actually speaks for a good part of the show. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, ask your daughter. She's
Good deal.
21. She'll probably know about New Girl.
Good deal.
um, let's see. What else can I ask you? Do you have any shows coming up?
Shows coming up? No. I don't have any shows coming up. I am like feverishly working at getting everything together. I'm gonna bring Move the Crowd series back in February of next year. So trying to get that all organized and together. Um, I, again, just constantly work on my radio station to improve that, to, see what I can offer, see where I can help. That's my baby. That's my retirement plan, and of which I'm never retiring.
And tell people about your radio station.
Radio station is square1radio.com. You can spell the one or you can put the number. I own both. Uh, it is a 24-hour, 7-day a week radio station. It's basically I modeled it after Sirius XM, so there's multiple channels that you can listen to. I believe right now I have 10 channels on there, 9 or 10 channels on there. My baby is the channel 412, which is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, nothing but independent artists from all over the world at this point. I have a gentleman on there that is from Denmark. Um, so it really, really is uh, my pride and joy, my baby, that channel specifically. But the radio station as a whole, um, I truly, truly enjoy it. Um, it's been one of the best things that I feel like I could have done. Um, Presently, trying to figure out which one of my children are interested in taking it over, you know, but yeah, that's it. And it's such a tool, and I try to explain this to these artists, but they don't get it. I have over 100,000 people that listen to my radio station a day,
Wow.
all over the world. Literally in the last, I would say, 3 weeks, I got this huge surge from Portugal. I don't know how they found out about it, but I have a lot of people that are tuned in from Portugal. Um, it's the one thing that I noticed about the station and that channel specifically is that people don't care whether you're on a label or not. They care about whether your music's good or not.
Exactly.
You
I
understand
mean,
what I
I
mean? Like, they don't care if you present something that they like, just because they don't know, what I mean, you're not on a bill, it doesn't matter. They're going to
yeah.
dance to it, they're going to enjoy it, they're going to make videos to it, whatever the case may be. And that's the beauty of today's market. You just got to be good at what you do.
Mhm.
And everybody's trying to just be marketable. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to market their way in front of people instead of being good and allowing people to find you. Like,
Mhm.
yes, you have to put yourself out there, but last time I checked, I've never in my life seen a commercial on television for a Rolls Royce, but everybody aspires to get one. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, a Rolex. You know what I mean? Until I started watching tennis and golf, I had never seen a Rolex commercial, but everybody knows what that is.
Right.
So just being great at what you do spreads just as fast as, 32 ad campaigns and all the rest of it. Just be known for being great. for putting out a solid product, for being consistent, for being personable. It'll take you a long way, when dealing with artists and DJs and all that. Um, but it's just like so many people have mid-grade product, but they want to market their way to the top. Like, come on, man. Like this
Yeah,
is not it. This is not it.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know what you're doing, and you're doing it, and people should pay attention to that. That they just gotta do what they're good at. Try new things and stuff, but like listen to people that have been around because they know what they're talking about.
We have the only genre, we have the only field that as you get older with more experience, people ignore you.
Mhm.
If you had the choice between a doctor who has 2 years of experience or a doctor who has 20 years of experience, who you gonna let cut you open? It's the only field like where people will ignore your years or your experiences or your accomplishments because you're old. It's the
Yeah,
wildest. It's the wildest thing. It is the wildest thing to me.
it's it's interesting out there to say the least.
Yeah, if a person don't know what they're talking about, I don't care if they're old or young. That's not going to get you where you need to be. But to just discredit somebody saying something to you because they're significantly older than you is just, I don't know. It's immature, in my opinion. I was raised in a family that, always taught you can learn what to do or you can learn what not to do from anybody.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I listen to 5 year olds, 8 year olds. They can teach me something. They may have had an experience I've never had.
Mhm.
You could be 90 and do the same thing. You know what I mean? We all know what foolish looks like and sounds like. So you ignore foolishness, but you don't, what I mean, just ignore a person because they're not saying something you like or
Yeah,
you want to hear. Like that's the fastest. They just don't really want to put in the work.
yeah. That's what it boils down to.
Right.
But we're almost done with our interview. But I want to ask
That's
you one last fun question. You
cool.
said you have tons of tennis shoes. Which are your favorite?
Favorite tennis shoes. Um, that is a very good question. Now, are you asking me style of shoe or specific pair of shoes?
A specific pair.
I own four. I own five shoes that most sneakerheads, shoe collectors would lose their mind about. Number one, I have Michael Vick. When he first hit the league, he had a training shoe before Nike. When he first got his Nike deal, but it wasn't called a Vic. He had a training shoe, and I own that shoe. It's never been worn, and when he played here in Pittsburgh, I had him sign them.
Oh,
So I have,
nice.
oh yeah, so I have those. Um, I have a pair of what's called dead stock Jordans. I believe they are 14s. They're like mustard gold, never been worn, brand new in a box. Um, I have a pair of LeBron's first shoe, never been worn, still in the box. And I have a pair of Forces, Air Force Ones, that I wish I hadn't worn. They're called Scarface. So basically, the shoe is split in half from
Oh,
front to back. Half of it's white, half of it's black, and
oh,
it
cool.
came right, and it came with red laces. So I have this shoe. I had a dude offer me $700 for the shoes off my feet.
Wow.
Like literally, he was like, "Bro, like first of all, you don't see them. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? You really don't see them." And then, like I said, I wish I would have bought two pair, but I wear them every once in a while just to, for sneakerheads. They always like, oh shit, he really got those on. Um, that's fun to do. But yeah, those are my favorite pair. Um, but if we're talking about specifically a shoe, and I don't understand what's happened in this last 2 years, Air Force Ones is my like I love colorway. I love Air Force One is a classic shoe.
Hmm.
But for some reason, these kids are now calling them a dad shoe. Like you're old if you wear Air. I'm like, it's wild. You know what I mean? Because for us, that was New Balances. You know what I mean? Like New
Yeah.
Balance was damn near a geriatric ankle stabilization type. Like it wasn't fashion. And now New Balances for these kids are the fashion move,
Yeah,
and
that's crazy
forces,
to me.
yeah, and forces are now you lived in DC. New Balance was a big thing in DC. Like
Hmm.
you knew, like that was where New Balance, their biggest market was DC. DC, that 574, I believe it's 574. That was a DC shoe. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just like on the West Coast, Chucks.
Hmm.
Single-handedly, the West Coast has kept Chuck Taylor's, like, you know what I mean? Like that's their shoe. New York is the Butters with, Timberlands. Like they keep that. So, but Forces was just a general, you know what I mean? Mid 80s, mid 90s. That was the move. Like now it's like you're old if you wear Forces. It's funny to me. I'll
Yeah.
just wait because now they're wearing big pants again. I'll just wait until they're popular again.
Yeah, they will
It's
be
no
again.
big deal. Right.
But yes, you're
But
right
that's
about
it.
New Balance. I couldn't believe when my daughter was like, she showed me a pair, and I'm like, oh, they're nice. She's like, they're New Balance. And I'm like, what? And she's like,
Yeah.
it's a shoe. I'm like, no, I know what they are.
Yeah. Like,
Why do you want them?
yeah, like nobody, old people wore those. Like literally, nursing home people put their
Yeah,
people
they
in
were
New
like
Balance so
walking
they
shoes.
didn't slip. Yeah, like they was like it's crazy to me, but this is the new wave. That's what they do.
Yeah,
That's it.
it all comes around.
Yes, it does.
So that was all that I had. But did you want to
All
add
right.
anything?
First and foremost, thank you.
Oh, you're
Um,
welcome.
our for those who don't know, how we met was actually at one of your shows. I had come to one of your shows. Had no idea who you were and whatever. And not only was it a show, but it was a debacle. Everything that
Oh,
could go wrong
yeah,
was
that
going
show.
wrong.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like that was, and I can't say I've ever been there that bad, but I've been there, and people don't understand the pressure that's on you because all you can think about, this is all going wrong, and this is all on my reputation. People are gonna leave here and be like, "Oh, this wasn't. Oh, it's not." Like, you know what I mean? Like, and nobody wants that. We all think we're gonna have a successful, flawless show. After you've done it for a while, you knock out most of the problems you can have, but there's always that Murphy's law. Anything that can
yes.
go wrong will.
And at
Um,
that show, it all, not all,
it
but a lot went wrong. And I
yes,
did my best to keep my composure for
right,
the
and
artists so
it
they could have a good
and
time. And
and you did, and like at the time, like again, not knowing you at all, like I kind of wanted to jump in and help, and I'm like, this is not yours. You don't know. Like I was just coming out because there was a show.
yeah,
Um, and then I think maybe a week or two later, I invited you out to one of our shows,
yes,
but you ended up being invited by Dre, so you did end up coming out. Um, I say this, to everybody in all respects. It takes a lot to run a show, and you don't just wake up one day and become a promoter. Like you have to learn how to do it. I've been doing this a very, very, very long time. I have no problem teaching, showing, assisting, whatever. Just like we said before, a lot of people don't want your help because they think, oh, well, I'm going to do it my way. And it's like, okay. But at the end of the day, you're doing a disservice to the artist that you're putting on stage, and you're doing a disservice to the crowd that you supposedly want to have.
yeah.
So like I said, wanted to reach out, collab with you, or just kind of get some type of understanding about you, is you me, because we're servicing the artist and the public.
Mhm.
And what I tell people all the time, when I go out of town, I represent Pittsburgh from the moment I'm always professional, I'm always courteous, I'm always, because if this is the only experience they have with somebody from Pittsburgh,
Right.
this is all they know. But when you go out of town doing shit half ass, trying to get over on people, not paying your tab, then that's what they think of me. I'm not okay with that. And that's how I feel about shows. You see it all the time. These artists, oh, these promoters ain't, I'm not. You're, who are you talking about? You're talking about some rapper that decided he wanted to throw a show, has no idea what the hell he's doing. You're now dissatisfied and you're trying to tear down an entire scene behind somebody that didn't know what they was doing.
Yeah, it's throwing show. Yeah, I mean you already know throwing shows is no joke. My first
Huh.
show was wonderful. That show that you showed up at, I mean it was just bombs exploding everywhere. But it did end up being good. They ended up the artist had a great time. The show I did after that was great. Like, but
Hmm.
that I won't
Yeah.
say where I was. You know where we were,
Yeah, 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 right.
but I did speak to where we were after
Uh-huh.
all of that and got some of that stuff rectified.
Yeah.
And my mom came to that show. My
Wow.
friends from and my mom doesn't live here. She lives like 5 hours away. I had some
That's
friends come in from out of town, and there was one part. I won't go too deep into it because
yeah, yeah, no
I
problem.
don't want to name names or anything. But there
Right.
was one part about the lights, and then another part about that the screen, the background
Hmm.
screen. Okay,
Yes.
and I was being instructed on the phone how to how they could fix it, how it could be fixed.
Hmm.
And when it was said, not my problem, my mom said they were taking bets at the table if I was going to go across that bar or not. And I said,
Yeah.
no, no, I wasn't. I thought
Yeah.
about it, but I wasn't, I wasn't going to
Right.
do that because I wanted everybody to have a great time. And then it finally started flowing. And then
Hmm.
one other thing happened. And
Right.
I was just like, okay, but
Yeah.
after that,
It's
it was like a checklist in the making, right? And
yeah.
after
And,
I
and and again, I bring it up because each and every one of us has had that type of situation, and it's just like everybody's so displeased and so upset. I'm like, do you think I woke up this morning and wanted this to go this way? Like, no. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, but we're here now. And professionalism says I do the very best to do my very best to correct the situation. It's just like, again, that entitlement. They want everything to be perfect, but they want to half ass everything. Like,
see, now that's where I lucked out because every single artist in that show was awesome. They had, and they weren't lying, they had the best time ever. They were so
hmm,
laid back. They're like, shit
right,
happens. So
right.
I really lucked out with the group of artists that I have in that show because they
Gotcha.
were really cool about it. They're like, hey, we do what we're going to do. They know their songs and everything. So if the sound cut out again, they would have just kept going. Like it was,
Right, right.
but I moved. We had our show at a different venue after
Gotcha.
that, and it was smooth sailing, and it was so much fun. Like
Gotcha.
there was one hiccup, and that hiccup happened before the show was even supposed to. Like it really
Gotcha.
wasn't show related, I guess, and it was fantastic. But yeah, I sat for a few days. People don't get what it's like to. You're right to be a promoter, because after that was all over and it was all done, and my friends and family went back home and all that stuff.
Hmm.
I sat for like a few days on that. I was like, oh my gosh, But it was a
Yes.
checklist in the making, and I looked at everything that had gone wrong, and I rectified it where I could, where
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't on me, you
Right.
know. Certain other things, I'm like, all right, clearly I have to have guidelines now
Right.
about what is and isn't acceptable on stage, you know.
Right.
So I got it all, and that's why I said the next show I did, it was beautiful, just
Good
beautiful.
deal.
But
Good deal.
it's not for the weak at heart.
No, it's not. And in my opinion, in order to do it correctly, the money needs to be the last thing on your mind.
Hmm.
The money will come if you do it correctly. But if you're focused on the money, there's just so many things that you don't really either think about or feel like you should. Again, like I said, this staggering uh, self entitlement. Well, I should have got this or I should have got that, and I don't understand. Like it's just like, bro, we're gonna put on a show. People are gonna come or not come. We're gonna make what we're gonna make, and we're gonna go home. Like it's not that serious. It's not that serious. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but once again, thank you for inviting me on.
sure.
Um, I don't do many of these,
Oh,
so
well, thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. Oh, it's not that I turned them down. Nobody wants me on. Nobody wants me to do it. But yeah,
Well,
it's
I
so
think that
funny.
you
I
did
watch people
great.
do podcasts all around me. Yeah, I never get invited to do no. Yeah, because
Oh,
they already know. It's funny.
well, I enjoyed it. I think this has been a great interview.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And stay on after I stop recording,
Okay.
and I'll tell you about like when I'll post this and everything.
Okay.
So, but everybody, this was DJ Chevy. He doesn't like to be found, but if you see him at a show, say hi,
Yep.
and definitely
Yep.
check out his radio station, SquareOneRadio.com.
Yep, square1radio.com. Instagram is square one radio. It's with a number one in it, square number one radio. Uh, you can hit me on there, inbox me on there, constantly looking for other talents to put on the radio station. It's for us and by us.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Can't turn it off. Oh no, sorry, wrong button.